court order.
Under the circumstances, if there were improvements...
No improvements.
We don't...
No improvements.
That's why you have to, first of all, thanks. I'd be interested in electing them, because I'm sure the board would be, just to know what the rationale is.
Yeah,
You know.
that's why I'm here, to ask that question. How is it possible?
We would not have it. You can make that statement rhetorically, but we just wouldn't have the information.
Okay. Well, thank you for hearing me. I'm just bringing it to your attention because, I mean, it's tough enough with all these things without having stuff like this that just doesn't make any sense to compound it.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Yes, indeed. Thank you. Any other? Okay, Neil?
How does this board respond to the village sewer commissioner's assertion that if the village were to take over the town, what they call the town sewer pump stations, that the town would have no incentive to repair or address the water infiltration issues, I&I?
First of all, lift stations have nothing to do with I&I. Sorry about that. First of all, it doesn't.
Now, when you say lift station, are you referring to a pump?
Pumps. Yes. Pumps. They call pumps.
Collection pit and the pumps.
That's what pushes it through and pressurizes it all right.
You know, we have been working on I&I for over 2 years. We got a grant from Senator Larkin. We spent $40,000+ on analyzing with smoke and cameras, etc., the infrastructure of Hamiltonian Park. And we've been working on those items all along. In Arcadia Hills, we spent over $10,000 last year. We went in with cameras and looked at a highly suspect line low in the subdivision where we thought groundwater would come in. And we found several places that need to be repaired. And it's on our agenda to repair those. We've also installed 247 manhole covers. These are seals, so the groundwater can't get in. We found a line that was put in years and years ago in Arcadia Hills that should have been disconnected, an overflow line, and when we did, it went to the stream where water was going in, had a significant reduction in the I&I in Arcadia Hills. We've been working on this all along, and we intend to work on all this all along, not because of the sewer charges from the village, but because environmentally it is the thing to do. We have high bacteria counts, just as the village I'm sure does, in the Rio Grande and other places. And we got a letter 2 years ago from the village, from the river keepers, asking us to do these things. And we were already doing them when we got the letter. So we've been trying to be responsible on this all along, without any dialogue or pressure from the village. So in fact, the sewer commissioner for the village, Mr. Newbold, and I met in my office talking about what we were doing and asking if they wanted to work with us on the $5.3 million grant that we want, or request for stimulus money. And the fact is, we could hire and the ability to get that money if we go in with another municipality. But we didn't hear back. So I think we've been very active on it. We don't need prodding. We're doing it, and we've done it, and we've had great success. Lou can tell you about the reduction last year in terms of millions of gallons. I can't recall what it was.
The reduction from 2008 to 2009, after we put those policies in place for Arcadia, was about 7 million gallons for the year. And for Ham Park, because we didn't do as much, because we found that line, was a little over 1 million gallons, but total between the two subdivisions was over 8 million gallons less. Now you might say that, well, that's predicated on rain, but if you look at all the years, they're pretty close. It comes out pretty average, and I did that, so that was a big saving, because that was the first year in place that the manhole covers and all that other stuff was there for the whole season.
Oh, yeah. Can you put that in percentage terms relative to the total gallonage accepted by the village?
What do you want?
Put that in percentage terms relative to the total amount that's accepted by the village from the town.
I know I'm good.
Are you talking about I&I that's 10%, 20%, 50%?
I'm saying that we
Of the
reduced...
total they accept?
Let me answer the question. We reduced the amount of flow to the village, which might be I&I and sewer. For Arcadia, it was $7 million for the 1 year. And we reduced Hand Park a little over $1 million. That is delivered to the village. And it actually goes through the meter. Now, percentages,
Well, we had a
I don't know how I can do the numbers, but I don't have enough time. I can tell you how much I&I the village had in 2008, but I think I mentioned that once before, so I'm not...
But we had a significant reduction in cost as a consequence of this. I don't remember that percentage. But it did have a material change in what we were charged because we had reduced the total flow.
I think it was around $36,000.
It was more like, it was like 38 to 39 for Arcadia, about 12 to 13, it was $51,000.
About 25%.
But again, you know, arithmetically, you have to calculate that in order to respond.
Yeah.
But it was significant. I mean, really, we felt very, very good at the end of the year when we looked at these numbers about how much we'd accomplished. And we want to continue to accomplish more. Okay, Neil?
How about the village sewer commissioner's assertion that the village has satisfied all of the town's requests, but when they do, the town adds on what they would describe as unreasonable additional demands?
I think we explained that already.
You're talking about the negotiations?
Correct.
You know, when I
Yeah.
said, I think...
Did you watch the
No.
village sewer commissioner's
But I think
statement?
this,
Oh,
I'd like to say this.
okay.
We as a board, again, with Ken and Lou, working diligently with numbers. They're the numbers guys.
Mhm.
They know more about this sewer than I think, than almost anybody. They looked at it inside out, outside in, upside down, downside, you know, whatever it might be.
Mhm.
And the fact is that the proposals that we've received from the village, as I've said before, is rearranging the deck chairs. Same number of deck chairs. Look like about the village wants $300,000 a year, and no matter what scheme, it's $300,000 a year. And that's give or take. And that is unacceptable to us because we see no advantage one versus the other. So if we get into the nitty gritty and he said and she said and all this, that's why I think we need to start dealing with the facts, not opinions, and move on.
I think I answered that question a little bit before when I talked about the things that our customers pay on the bill. I think I explained it. That lies the big difference. The service. If you're in the sewer business, you give service. People shouldn't have to pay for it twice. I mean, like I said, they pay for transmission lines, pump stations and lift stations, whatever you want to call them. They're paying part of that. Matter of fact, if there's a breakage in the village, the following year that breakage gets assigned to that total cost, and we will pay a percentage of that. Now I'm getting even deeper. But if the town has a break, there ain't nobody coming to help them. Okay? Thank you.
All righty. Any other comment?
One more?
Sure.
Following on what Mr. Keller just said.
Right.
Mr. Roddy had contended that the pump stations that the village owns are in a terrible state of repair, decrepit, and breaking down every time you turn around. Do you have anything to respond to that in terms of the condition of the pump station?
I don't know.
You mentioned the village.
You know, it's one of these things, that the village system, their infrastructure is 100 years old. They got a new plan. The village, I mean, I don't know about their lift station, how old they are, whatnot as well. And Hamiltonian Park is about 50 years old. Arcadia Hills is probably 35 years old. There's new technology today, there's no question. If we went out and put in new lift stations, we probably wouldn't have to do much maintenance for a long time. On average, we're once a year replacing or pulling the pumps out, reworking them and putting them back in. That's maintenance. And that's probably about $10,000 for Hamiltonian Park, $10,000 a year for Arcadia Hills. We've been doing that year in and year out. But pursuant to what Lou was saying, if you take the village, we're paying 65, if you take the money that we give, that our people are charged, 65%